eight-time winner on the LPGA Tour, who announced her retirement at the end of this year. Brittany Lincicome joins us on this Monday. Speaking of player reaction, your reaction to this news, Mollie Marcoux Samaan stepping down as commissioner.
Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm retired now. I'm driving around a golf cart watching my husband golf. It's a weird feeling. I was actually surprised, like 50-50, I guess. Like, there had been rumors of some negative stuff that the players felt that Mollie wasn't doing. And, but at the end of the day, like, you're never going to please 144 women. Like, it's a hard job. It was going to be a hard job for whoever came in. Mike Wan obviously crushed it. I am sad to see her go because I do think she was really putting her heart and soul into it and helping us. And she really cared about the LPGA and was trying to help us. But at the end of the day, there, like Amy mentioned, there was a couple things that, players wanted her to kind of work on. But I mean, she was only there, 3 years? So maybe she just needed a little bit more time. But, here we are and we're moving forward and the LPGA is in a great spot. We have so many new events. We are playing for so much more money. I wish I was a rookie this year and not retiring just to get a piece of that money. But the LPGA is in a great spot.
Brittany, overall, when you look at Mollie Marcoux Samaan's tenure, do you think that she maximized the opportunity that was in front of her with this boon to women's sports, the popularity spike of Nelly Korda this year winning 7 times? How do you think overall she did sort of maximizing the potential of the LPGA and its players?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we could always say, like, what if she would have done this or what if she would have done that? But again, if you look at, we have new events on the schedule. We're going to play for what I saw, $131 million, which is up. We're moving in the right direction. The majors are all stepping up. We're playing for more money. We're on more network TV. Our deal is still always iffy, but I feel like we were still going in the right direction, even with, maybe missing the mark with Nelly or even having Caitlin Clark out last week at Pelican. But again, it's hard to say that now, but I mean, I liked Mollie. I think she was great, and I wish her nothing but the best.
Brittany, one thing that Amy Rogers said was a sticking point was the schedule, lack of continuity, play for 3 weeks, off for a month. How much of a talking point was that amongst the players, just the challenges of the LPGA schedule?
Yeah, in my 20 years, I think the schedule is probably the #1 topic other than either slow play or slow practice rounds. So the schedule, we talked to Julie Inkster back in the day when I was wanting to have children. She was like, oh, we could drive to every tournament. I'm like, well, that's not a thing anymore on the LPGA. You can't drive to hardly any tournament. So we are always striving for trying to get, like, the men's, like how they have events in Florida and then they kind of go to Georgia and you kind of you can follow the tour along and we're not bouncing back and forth from East Coast to West Coast or from another country coming back. So the schedule is always #1 topic, always trying to get that right. But that's not even just always on Mollie. There's other, people in the LPGA organization that are trying to make that puzzle work. And it's like a Tetris kind of puzzle of trying to, some sponsors obviously want their certain weeks and you can't get them to change. The majors obviously have priority of what weeks they want. So it's a tricky situation. And listen, I wish we were like the men where we had, Florida, Georgia, we could drive everywhere. It was, a lot easier, but it is what it is. And we got to follow the money sometimes. But yeah, the schedule is always a topic, a hot topic.
Brittany, you've seen a number of commissioners now during your playing career. What qualities or characteristics should the LPGA be looking for in their search for Mollie Marcoux Samaan's successor?
Did you just call me old?
A veteran savvy.
Yeah, veteran. There we go. It's really somebody like Mike Wan. Not that Mollie didn't, but he was on the first tee. He was out at the golf course, even in Thailand, Singapore, on the tees. Like, what can I be doing for you? How can I make your life better? What can I do to make the tour better? And he really listened to what we had to say. And again, you're not going to please 144 women all the time. It's very challenging. But somebody like that's really comes in and kind of puts their, career on pause and really kind of looks at what we're looking for and maybe make a checklist and try to, go after all those things, which I know Mollie was doing. So again, not to throw her under the bus, but just the next commissioner definitely coming in, asking the players, what they're looking for. How can we make it better? How can we grow together? I think is definitely #1.
Brittany, one talking point over the last several years as well, the LPGA Tour needs the help of the PGA Tour, more mixed team events. Your play stands on its own. You're a 2-time major champ. What's your reaction when you hear that, the LPGA needs the PGA Tour's help?
Yeah, I feel like it's a pride thing of not wanting people's help, but obviously the PGA plays for a lot more money than we play for, and we're not trying to get equal pay. We're just trying to bridge that gap a little bit. So if that means, asking for some help and asking for them to do more team events. I mean, I remember going to the JCPenney Classic, which was a team event here in Tampa, Florida at Innisbrook when I was maybe like 12 years old, and I loved it. I was a standard bearer for John Daly and Laura Davies, and that's how I kind of like fell in love with the game and women's golf. So I think definitely having at least one or two of those would be fun. I mean, we have one at the end of the year, the Grand Thornton, but I think there's only 12 groups. So it definitely needs to be a bigger thing. I think it would be really cool. But hey, if the PGA can help grow us and make us better, I am all for leaving the game better than what it was and growing the game of golf and women's golf. And if that means taking the PGA's help, I would love that.
Brittany, short term, what do you think the vision or the future of the LPGA could look like?
Oh, I mean, I think, like I said before, the LPGA is such a great place, and I believe I read Liz Moore is going to take over, and she's obviously been a part of the LPGA for a long time, and all the people below her. We have a great team of people at the LPGA, and they all have the same goal. I feel like just to try to build the LPGA, grow the game, and do all these wonderful things for us. So I feel like the LPGA is in a great spot. However long it takes to find us a new commissioner, we'll be fine with the staff that we have. But I know, just talking to some other staff members already this morning, just head down, making sure the LPGA stays on track until we can find somebody to lead us in the right direction. But the LPGA is in a great spot, and I'm super proud of them.
Brittany, we just spoke to Beth Ann Nichols of Golf Week magazine, who said that the LPGA Tour commissioner job is one of the toughest in sports. Do you agree? And if so, why?
How do you please 144 women every week? It's got to be very challenging. Obviously, you're trying to make the players happy, and then we got to go talk to all the sponsors. So what do we have? 30 some events on the schedule, so you have to go talk to each sponsor and make sure they're okay and they're getting what they need and they're happy. So it's a lot of pleasing of people, and it's definitely a hard job. That's why I wish we would have given Mollie maybe a little bit more time, because you're not going to come into it right away and be Mike Wan or be the greatest commissioner. You're not going to get it right away. And I feel like just with maybe a little bit more time, maybe she could have figured it out. But it's a tough job. It's a tough job, male, female, it doesn't matter. Whoever comes in, God bless them. And they got their work cut out for them for sure.
Well, Brittany, it's a big day in the LPGA. We're going to miss you in 2025, but as you said, you wish you were a rookie. I'm sure they'll leave the light on for you if you want to come back. Thanks for your time.
Thank you guys so much.